Okay. I really want to take a break because I was going to drop like a bunch of videos tomorrow because I want to take a couple of days off. I'm still shattered by the NBA trade deadline. This was the greatest NBA trade deadline of all time. So I'm still kind of shook. So, this gentleman right here, he is sitting down with let me bring it down. He is sitting with Gruden. He's sitting with the coach from the Denver Broncos, and he's sitting with the former tight end from the Panthers. All three of them. And this dude, very aggressively, with a very aggressive face. This wasn't his face when he answered the question. It was. I don't know, because I'm so shocked by what the guy said. Recency bias. Like, people really need to like get out the bag. Like get out of the bag. Is Jalen Hurts underrated? No. Oh my gosh. Sean Payton. Sean Payton asked him. I believe it was Sean Payton that asked him. Y'all look, Barstool, go look at this dude. I believe it was Sean Payton asked him flat out of the top 7 quarterbacks, where do you have Jalen Hurts? He didn't stutter. He didn't pause. He said second. You're telling me Jalen Hurts is the second best quarterback in the NFL just because he's in the Super Bowl? Wow. I'll put it to you like this. If you put Jalen Hurts in Cincinnati, Cincinnati has a top 5 pick in this draft. If you put Jalen Hurts in New York, New York maybe has one more win. If you put Jalen Hurts in Dallas, Dallas probably has a number 1 pick in the draft. I see in the very beginning of the season when he was throwing picks and fumbling because he was throwing more than 30 passes a game. And then they said, hey, let's just give it to Saquon for the rest of the year. And this dude nearly ran for 2,000 yards, and that's the sole reason you guys beat the Rams in the snow. Let's be 100. Let's keep it a buck. For real though, Saquon Barkley is the only reason why you guys beat the Rams in the snow. I can't believe. Okay. Jalen Hurts is not the second best quarterback in the NFL. Look, I've been very, very critical of Joe Burrow because he could never stay healthy, but he stayed healthy this year. And if we really want to talk about recency bias, if you put Joe Burrow in Philly, KC has no shot at winning the Super Bowl. Let's keep that 100. If you put Jared Allen. If you put Allen, I'm thinking Jared Allen because somebody argued today that he should be in the Hall of Fame, and I get that. If you take Josh Allen and you put him in Philly, Philly wins hands down. Like, he's not better than Lamar Jackson. He's not better than Josh Allen. He's not better than Joe Burrow. Heck, he's not better than Matthew Stafford, who I got a top 5 quarterback in NFL still until he's done. And that's just off the top of my head. If I really look through the rest, I'm going to be like, I don't know. For an example, the kid from Green Bay. What's his name is trying to give him the nickname of J-Lo. If you take Jordan Love and put him in Philly, I don't think they run the ball that much because there's more Jordan Love can do with his play. Okay, let me really say it. He's not better than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is better than Jalen Hurts. Like I said, if you really want to sit here and think about it, let's really start thinking about it. Like, dead serious. He's not better than Baker Mayfield. And I would say by 3.8 miles not better than Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield finally found a system, not even a system. He finally found a place that actually believes in his skill set and talent. Philly actually believed in Jalen Hurts, and he's been able to ascend. I'm not mad at that. But this guy here really sat there and said that Jalen Hurts is the second best quarterback in the league. Like, come on, man. I love football, and I love when dudes who don't get credit do better than they... Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. And let's keep it a buck. Oh, okay. He's not better than a healthy Dak Prescott. And I'm sorry, I'm one of those people. Heck, he's not even better than a Tony Romo was. And Tony Romo ain't been to no Super Bowl and hardly won any playoff games. I would take Tony Romo over Jalen Hurts. Like, there is so many things that Jalen Hurts just doesn't do because he's not there yet. Lamar Jackson, I was heavily critical when he came out of Louisville. Why? Because he couldn't throw an out route and he couldn't throw the deep post. He could throw the seam route better than any quarterback in the league when he got into the league. That's why he got a starting quarterback job, because him throwing the tight ends, he throws the tight ends better than any other quarterback in the NFL. And I will stand on that, and I will argue any professional on it, and I will show you guys tape. But for this guy to sit here and say that Jalen Hurts is the second best quarterback, can we stop, please? I mean, I'm not trying to talk about this gentleman. I'm just trying to talk, because the way his eyes is making me think like, okay, was somebody passing around a little white baggie around? Like, I'm trying to figure out why he would say something like that. That would make no sense. In Cincinnati, you had a guy get the Triple Crown because of his quarterback. You got your wide receiver sitting on the sideline reading books because you can't throw a deep route. Like, I'm not crazy. This dude is a fan. There's a difference between being a fan, and then there is a difference from being an objective fan. And then there's a difference from being a guy who's actually coached men. And it's funny, the two coaches that are sitting there looking at this guy, they're not saying a word. They're not. John Gruden's looking like, this dude's on one. And then Sean Payton's looking at him like, this dude's on one. And the only one who really wanted to argue with him was Greg. And I'm sitting here trying to figure, I'm like, man, he is on one. I can't believe this is the longest video I've ever recorded over Jalen Hurts. I don't know this guy. Because you win games doesn't mean that you're a great quarterback. That's okay. So you're saying that Brock Purdy is better than half of the quarterbacks in the league when we know that's not true. Like, I can't. Thank you. I got everything I need to say out there. Jalen Hurts is not a top 10 quarterback. Period.